when the Putin talked about a new territory, when he talked first of all about occupied territory, it's not a question about territory first of all. For me, it's a question about our people. We talked about millions people, and he like wants that we, I don't know, present our people for them. For Russians, it's uh, I like a new slave in the new world.
Petro, welcome then to the program. Now, you were in the now occupied Mariupol. You escaped days into Russian control, but I know you stayed in close touch with people there. Can you just tell me how they describe living under the Russians?
It's awful because I don't know, I can't say that it's living, it's more like surviving because everything stay worse and worse in this situation because they haven't enough, I don't know, a normal, basic things, first of all. So lots of infrastructure problem for now. It's not so bad like the first years of occupation, but it's not like a normal life. First of all, water supply, it's one of the biggest problem because they have water just 4 hours per 48 hours, so once for today. Uh, if we talk about the like kind of life. And lots of people for now in Mariupol, first of all, we have more than 20 thousand people who haven't an own property for living, so they stay in our flats, in our apartments. I mean, the people who were evacuated from Mariupol, and now our property are free in the city, so they can use it. But Russian demolished their apartments, and now they haven't an own house for life.
So a lot of people
First of
displaced
all,
inside Mariupol. I mean,
yeah.
how do the Russian troops behave? How do they treat the Ukrainians who stayed behind, who are in Mariupol?
We can. It's a big story because we have two part of the communication with the Russian troops. Of course, in general, our uh, residents uh, for now are not contact a lot with the Russian troops because the Russian troop based first of all in the plants like Illicha plants, some industrial zone, not in the middle of the
Right.
civil life. Yeah, but the biggest part of FSB and all other Russian control troops for repression, yeah, they like our people every time under pressure, and it's look like uh, you know it's look like pervasive civilians for all,
Mm.
and all our residents absolutely understand this story because the first year and the second year of the occupation, the Russian FSB and control troops they were in touch with the people. It was like control. It's a real control, like from people to people. They stopped our people on the street. They
Yes.
look their guards, all kind of these things. What I mean, for now, it's modernize all their civilians because they use total control, pervasive control of internet
Yeah.
traffic, of mobile and cell calling, all kind of that, and webcam surveillance with some system for identification of a person. So all our people understand it. So it's like living on total pressure every time.
Yes. And we see and we've heard reports of the brutality of Russian soldiers in the occupied territory, of people being taken, of children being stolen. Is there any reports in Mariupol of that kind of mistreatment?
Oh yeah, for now, every every month, I think they stole the people, and not just in Mariupol, because we have different story, some different story. We have to understand for relevance of this story, check this story. The last story, it's not from Mariupol about stolen people, and mostly it's about stolen people from Zaporizhia region.
Yeah,
As you know, 12 our orphans, they were stolen by Russians to some Ryazan region, and they found for them a new parents. It's like, it's awful because these children stay often under Russian occupation, not before, so for now.
yeah,
And they stole our people. The same story in Mariupol. They have a mm, special commission, they have a special team who uh, cut the parents' rights for some
yes,
Mariupol residents, and we have like every month we have one or two new orphan, and this orphan, in general, Russian moving to Russia territory and try to find them a new Russian families. So it's awful process. In reality, and they doesn't stop. Of course, it's not so massive. It's not like the first months of occupation when the Lvova Belova, who controlled all these procedures
yeah,
in Russia, but it's the same. It's not so big numbers for now, but in general, they making it day by day, I think. So yeah, all kind of these things, these awful things that about Mariupol, about occupied territory from the first years of occupation,
yes,
it stays the same. It's like it's just a question about numbers. If we talk about the first years of first months of occupation, it might be thousands or hundreds person. For now, it's dozen person per month. For example, I mean,
yeah,
if we talk about stolen children, if we talk about arrested people for pro-Ukrainian view, it's less than in the start, but in general,
yes.
it's the same.
So life is very hard. Children have been stolen in Mariupol and more so in other areas. It sounds really terrible. You, Petro, you managed to leave Mariupol. Many stayed. Why did so many stay?
It's a hard question in reality. Uh, uh, we haven't a one answer for this question because it's a different story. In general, I think it might be some things. First of all, uh, the biggest part of people, it's our retired people. It's very
Mm,
hard to bring all your life, in the city and start something new uh, in unknown areas, in known territory, because the question of security, and it's a strange, but Mariupol for now under occupation more secure than, I don't know, lots of Ukrainian cities, first of all. Then for all our residents, it's the same thing. The question is about humanitarian help, it's about the place for living, because for Ukraine it's very hard to help all of our for all of our people who are under occupation, because it's a question about money. We haven't enough money because of war, of course, and it's sad, but our European partners, I mean, were really helpful for the help, but it's not enough for
no.
to, for people who stay in occupied territory. We have to talk it about in occupied territory. I mean the territory that were occupied from the 2022, and we talk it about near than 3 million 3 for 4 million people. So in Ukraine, we haven't enough
Okay. So
opportunity for
some
these people.
I see. So some stayed because they were old and it was too hard to leave. Others Well, because they didn't have the means. It just wasn't possible. Maybe they didn't have the money to leave and try to make a life
Yeah.
elsewhere. And one can only feel terribly sorry and sad for those people. Petro, do you imagine that your city, Mariupol, will ever be again under Ukrainian and not Russian control? And what do you feel about Putin, Vladimir Putin, wanting more Ukrainian territory to be handed to him, territory he has not conquered?
Uh, I think it's not a words for this real conversation because if I have to find some words, I mean, might be fury and might be hate. It's two things that what can I say? It's impossible. It's a he when he talk about I mean when the Putin talked about a new territory, when he talk first of all about occupied territory, it's not a question about territory first of all. For me, it's a question about our people. We talked about millions people, and he like wants that we I don't know, present our people for them, for Russians. It's uh, I like a new slave in the new world. I haven't,
Yeah,
I can't, I haven't other words to describe this situation. It's
no,
impossible. It's awful. I don't understand how our, I mean, the world politic have to think about that because it's the same thing that the civilization won in the past centuries, and we started again because how it's possible? How we have to think not about territory. Of course, I'm sure I'm back home. I do everything for that during my life, and I believe in it. But uh, it's not it's not so important how my friends, my um, relatives, my I don't know, my close people who stay under the occupation and they try to fight with occupation and I don't understand how we can say for them, you are like it's forever Russia. I don't understand
okay.
how it's possible.
You make your point very strongly. I mean, we talk about in diplomatic talks, they talk about territory, but we're talking about people. We're talking about
Yeah.
Ukrainians who are living with the reality of Russian occupation, of Russian oppression. And I hear the strength of your feeling. Let me ask you, President Zelensky, at the beginning of the war and for a while after, he was a hero of Ukraine, incredibly popular. How do you think of Volodymyr Zelensky now? How do Ukrainians think about Zelensky now?
Uh, I understand might be what you mean, but what can I say? Our president and Zelensky will have a different view with you, for example, yeah. For me and for the most of Ukrainian people, Zelensky and like president of Ukraine, it's not a person. It's not a leader like a single man or like a person. It's like a function. You know what I mean?
I
It's
do.
like a
He's a
symbol
figurehead.
for
Yeah,
figurehead, yeah. So it doesn't matter. He make his job, and we can help for them. So we it's not something like I don't know. Uh, it's part of us because for us, for Ukrainian people, first of all these things, all this war, it's not about personality. We have a one personality. It's Ukrainian nation in general, and all of us doing what we have and what we
yes,
must to do in this
yeah,
situation. So
yes,
we not. Uh, we not think it about Zelensky in this point of view because of war. If we talk it about, I don't know, election, past war period or something like that, might be we have a different view and might we
mm,
have different count about that, you know. But for now, Nobody think about Zelensky like a politician. Nobody thinks about a politician leader or something like that. It's like it's other thing for us. It's
I
not.
understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Ukraine and this war is about the people of Ukraine, and the politics of Kyiv seems a long way away. Are you, though, finally, are you concerned about stories of corruption in government?
Of course, I understand that you. I think, you know, uh, it's a part of my job, by the way. I mean, lots of things, all the research, kind of the uh, uh, every country in the world have on corruption. It's in general. So for us, yeah, we're some shocked about that because it's the wartime. It's very awful and very strange when some people so corrupt in this situation, but uh, I don't know. Our anti-corruption uh, security and part of the police, our NABU, it's a good job. So I don't know. It's, from the one hand, it's awful that we have the corruption. From the other hand, we work with anti-corruption procedures so good, and because of that, we know it about corruption. So it's a very complicated question.
It is,
I
and I
mean,
also
yeah.
understand you have many other things which concern you, which are more maybe immediate for you to worry about day to day. Petro, thank you so much indeed. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you.